The BMW 2016 228i xDrive. Really long name, so for the rest of this video, I'm going to call it the 2 Series. This is a car that surprised me when I first seen it show up on the lot because I thought it was black. I was wrong. This is actually brown apparently. So, and even up close it's hard to tell, but it's nice to know that it's not flat black that can look so boring after a little while. This car here showed up on the lot and I was just in shock. I was amazed to see how good of a car it was, how nice it was left together, and how much it actually does when I finally looked at the stats. So, in case of you who do not understand how BMW works, it is German, Bavarian, it's a German company which translates the BMW to Bavarian Motor Works. And by far they are one of the nicest car makers in video games and in real life. The first time I fell in love with BMW was actually a famous 2005 video game called Need for Speed Most Wanted. And I've kind of had a love affair with them but could never afford one. That's probably because the car in that is worth a lot more. But I could relive moments like that in a car even like this. BMW makes all their cars top of the line. And the 228i is no exception to that German engineering. Everything masterly put together, making it one of the best cars on the road. Now, I'm going to inform all of you that it's still bad Arkansas weather, and I've got the top down. So, before we continue this video, I'm going to have you guys sit down with me, and we're going to wait for the top to come back up as I go over some of the luxurious features of the interior. So, let's get started on that. So, in cars like my Ford Mustang, which was made in 2005, you have to unlatch here and here. Germany, thank you for making that a little bit simpler. All you gotta do is reach down and push. Was it up or down? And you can see it right back there, slowly coming up. All I did was pull up on the lever like that, and the car is doing the rest by itself. See, no work. You can hear the glass fixing back there, making it a real smooth transaction. And you heard it just seal in place. Windows roll up for you automatically, and hey, we're inside a car. Doing what we call butterflying here in the car business, I've decided to open up this entire car to show you guys a little bit around this thing. So, instead of starting with the engine first, I want to start from my back this time, work my way front, something different for you guys. Now, something I really like in this car is for being a sportier two-seat, well, not even a two-seater. That was even a surprise to me. I thought this was a two-seater, so sorry about that. Four-seater. You actually have a decent amount of room, and a nice little area here to keep things more snug. And in case you have to make more room back here, nice little pull bar. You can see, and a lot of people who don't own convertibles don't know how this works. This here is where all that convertible part has to go. So this has a nice little package here, so you don't have to worry about bumping into it. Now I've got it most of the way out, but I'm going to make it a little bit simpler here. If I pull this out, the mat that you've seen here in the back, that's where your batteries go. And your fuse box. So in case you're one of those guys who needs to get their battery recharged, you might want to know that's not where it normally goes. Instead, this model has it in the trunk. Remember that, save yourself some time, effort, and headache. And another feature I really like is it's a simple close, and you get to see where your rear view camera is, making it a little more convenient when you have to wonder where it's at. I also liked how it had a handle right here that I could just pull and lift it with once I had it popped. And I'll show you guys how to pop that here in a second, which is simple. You just come in here, and it's a little button right there. You also have a hood release right there. So let's take a look at the front end. This engine, it doesn't sound like much, but don't be fooled. This car produces 240 horsepower and 255 pounds of torque underneath its 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. That might not seem like much to someone who's not a car guy, but to those of us who understand BMW, It's a little more than you expect from a rear-wheel drive. That gives this car a 0 to 60 launch of around 5 seconds. Some cars a little bit slower, but those are manuals, and this one's an automatic, making it actually faster to shift through the gears. And with a car capable of going 130 miles per hour, I'm gonna get my butt in trouble if I buy one of these. Probably not to mention, I'm gonna last a little bit longer than a standard sports car with an in-town gas mileage of 23 and a highway of 34, meaning it's gonna be a while till I need to pull over, thankfully. Another nice piece of BMW engineering, I mentioned the pull tab right here. You just simply pull it. I don't know why it shows that twice, but it is saying twice on it. Don't know what that's all about, so we're just going to ignore it. But if I come here, nice little thing, hook, gently reach under. So that twice thing is on purpose. Pull it a second time. Now we come back to the front. Gently put your hand under here, lift. Once you have it about that high, about 2 feet, let it do the rest. No real effort needed at all to lift that thing. That was so simple. And to close it, I'm going to use these, which I don't always recommend using. Did it itself. I hope you guys could hear how windy it is outside and realize that I am not hearing any of it in here. So let's go over the interior just real fast. Then I got to take this car back before my boss gets on to me for having too much fun. So something I really like about this is the nice cream seat and the fact that it blends in so well. And yeah, kind of a neat little feature. I was trying to adjust the seat earlier. That actually adjusts, giving you a little bit more leg support when you're trying to relax. You're also greeted with a nice matte and gloss interior, reminding you of the inside and outside being both stylish. Thank you, Germany, for building such a nice design. I also like the accented red stitching, but I gotta say, I don't see any other red on this car except the gauges here, so it kind of throws me through a small loop, but hey, it's really nice, honestly. I love the way this feels. It's nice, firm, and it's not uncomfortable to hold for long distances, which I can really appreciate. You also have your miles per, your economy gauge, and honestly, your fuel gauge being right there where they're both right at the same level, it's such a nice little touch to detail, because that means my eyes can go straight across like that and know what I'm getting in economy. Another thing I really like about this car that I think a lot of people are also going to appreciate is the climate control. I don't know why, I'm still not a huge fan of it, but I can see the point behind it. And I like the fact that instead of my standard 6, I have 2 extra options for programming my radio. But because copyright thing is a thing on YouTube, I gotta be a little careful with that. We're not gonna do it. Guys, remember this button to bring the top back up and down? Well, you're gonna like this too. So right here, oh, and if you guys are noticing that flickering, it's not actually doing it on my end. That's just the way it looks through the camera. So my apologies. But you'll notice this little dial here. And I'm gonna show you what that does. How cool is that? You don't even really have to leave your armrest to do all this. And you can just do things like push it in. Now you got your vehicle status. We're not going to tinker around with this too much. But if you guys would like to see it in the future and we still have this car on lot, let me know and we'll happily do it. Then you just simply hit the back button to go back to that menu. There's several little options. So if you guys are more interested in what all this car features, let me know. I'll be more than happy to show those off for you. Another thing I really like is the fact that it has a sport and economy mode. So, you know, if you're want to be a decent human being and push down on the sport mode and have some fun, because you're a BMW, why do you need economy mode? I mean, no one needs economy when you have sport mode. Sorry, I love using the gas in a vehicle so much. So, yeah, I'm a little guilty for that. But just remember, you know the stereotype with BMW drivers: don't be a statistic. Remember to use your turn signals. Another little thing I would like to mention is the fact that this seat was so adjustable. as I sat down, I noticed that there were little bars here, and I was trying to figure out what they were. So I'm going to spook myself again. The bar in the back is much like most cars, and now I'm leaning backwards. So, yeah, you can see how simple that was. We'll get to the back seat here in a second. Actually, let's just do that since we're back here. Back seat's a nice little comfortable, 2 little cup holders, nice leather, and rear vents. So if you have kids, you know, or friends who need a little bit of extra air in the back, you don't have to do anything. But I need to get back up, so we'll just sit up and pull that tab. That's simple. Also, another fun one, and this one scared the tar out of me earlier. You can pull the bar in the front and go into a more bucket seat flare. But the only way you can readjust this is actually getting out of your seat, so don't do it. And again, I showed you guys earlier, you can lift your leg piece right here. But I don't recommend doing that when you're at this position. So let me get out of the car. So now that I'm out of the car, it is just as simple as grabbing a hold of this bar here. Remember, this is your recline. This isn't. Just pull this and boom, it sits up. It's literally that simple. So I have to go return this before I get yelled at by my boss, because I could probably steal this thing all day. So let's go over a few little extra amenities you get with this. A lot of people don't realize cars that are convertible actually come with buttons to control your back windows. You can do this and get all 4 at once. It's actually not a feature on my Mustang, so yeah, I'm even a little jealous about that. BMW takes it a step further, where you can control even the back windows one at a time, as you see in the far distance, or you see here. And if you decide you just don't want your back seat to have any issues, just pull them both up at once. Nice little convenience. Again, BMW is well known for having a little bit extra and a very compact design. Honestly, another thing I really loved is you can reach around the engine so well. So say you're one of those guys who likes to do their own maintenance, a little bit of a plus to you, because this car makes it a lot easier than most BMWs I've seen, where it's just a compact thing of here's all your parts at once. So this BMW will give you both simplicity, almost a luxury sense of handling from what little I have seen it, and a good sense of performance as well. Proof that Bavarian Motor Works is one of the best companies to go to when you want a car that's well-rounded and made not only for a daily driver, but the fun, sporty, exhilarated type. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're interested in getting this car, it's roughly around $30K, so a little bit pricey, but I tell you, well worth it. And honestly, there is no such thing as having too much fun in one of these. So I need to go put it back. I'm gonna get in trouble. Nah, I can't get in trouble when I'm at work. Have a good day. Unlock. There we go. Now we're in drive.